Are you ready to take your life to new heights? I'm Erica, host of the Elevate with Erica podcast. This podcast isn't just about listening. I get real with y'all. Stories from my past, things I'm currently going through, good, bad, and all the in between, so that we can take action together and step into our power. From mindset shifts to practical tips, we cover it all. So whether you're struggling with self-doubt, seeking clarity, or simply hungry for inspiration, Elevate with Erica is going to be your go-to resource. So if you're ready to break free from limitations, ignite your passions, and create a life you love, then hit that subscribe button and join my community of dreamers, doers, and difference makers. Together, let's elevate. There is a meat delivery service that has been saving my butt on my son's little league nights and long schoolwork evenings with my teenager, but it would also take a lot of work out of meal prep too. Just meats. They simplify life without compromising on health. They come seasoned and cooked and ready to be reheated in just 1 to 2 minutes. All you have to do is prepare your sides and you have a full meal on the table. So easy, so delicious, so affordable. These are premium quality and new flavors drop regularly. You cook them in just 1 to 2 weeks, or you can pop them in the freezer for 4 to 6 months. My family has been loving them. Let's be honest. They just make me a happier mom too. You can choose from chicken, pork, or beef options. You're going to love them and the unique sauces that each meat comes with. So head to the link in my show notes for $15 off your order, and that can also be combined with 25% off your first order. You have to try these. Hi friends, and welcome back to another episode of Elevate with Erica. We are getting ready to head out for another summer camping trip. I think all of my favorite family memories are from our camping adventures. We have really just been soaking up every bit of summer in so many ways, even with these crazy humid heat waves we've had here. My son the other day was like, "Mom, we haven't even taken the kayaks out out yet this summer." And I'm like, when would we've been very busy. When would we have time to do that yet? So hopefully Sunday. I'm hoping the rain doesn't keep us from being able to do that, but we've just been having so much fun and really grabbing up summer. And I think I talked about that on an episode already. I know I've been sharing about it, some of my stories and in my DMs with you guys, that regardless of the challenges that I'm facing in my life right now, regardless of the fact that they're the biggest challenges I've ever faced, I'm just determined to not let them steal my joy this summer like I did last summer. And so I'm pretty proud of me and my family for doing that, following through on that. But let me get right into this topic of this episode today. So I was scrolling Instagram and I saw this reel from the NFL page on Instagram of Dak Prescott dancing at a friend's wedding. They make it appear as though he's just dancing by himself. I don't know whether he is or isn't. It's basically irrelevant. I'll say right up front and hope that I don't lose any of you. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. I always have been. The Mexican side of my family is from Texas, so I was born and raised a Cowboys fan. I know that the hate comes with the territory. So naturally, when I saw this reel, I went right to the comments. I knew they'd be entertaining. The NFL page itself wasn't hating on him, but you can't post anything Cowboys on social media without hate. All in good fun, of course, right? Like I think one of my top just static posts on Instagram is me in a Cowboys jersey. And that's because the comments lit up. Right. So you could just guarantee that that's what's going to happen. Anything Cowboys posted is going to just absorb all kinds of hate. Right. So anyway, per usual, comments were filled with mostly hate and some love mixed in there too. Don't get me wrong, but it was mostly haters. And I got thinking about the amount of hate that man gets. And he's just playing a sport that he loves. He doesn't let it stop him, right? He doesn't say, well, I'm going to quit football because too many people talk bad about me, or I better not dance in public because it'll be everyone's meme come football season. He doesn't say those things. He just chooses what brings him joy. He chooses to do what brings him joy. And one of the comments actually said, they're going to eat him alive with this one. You think he doesn't know that? Now, yes, he's also making quite a bit of money. But there was a time when he wasn't, right? There was a time when he just kept pursuing his dream without bringing in the rewards yet. He clearly didn't stop at what anyone else thought or had to say about him. And so now he's here at this point in his life, and he's reaping the rewards of his dedication to his dream. And he's still choosing to do what brings him joy whenever he feels like it, regardless of what memes might come out of it, regardless of the fact that they're going to eat him alive come this football season with that dance, right? Now, this could have been any football player. I'm not just saying this because he's the quarterback of my favorite team. Dancing, even if I'm not great at it, makes me so happy. I've talked about that here before, and I think you can shift your entire mood with dancing. So this reel happened to catch my attention because I love to see people smiling and dancing, whether they're good or not. I love to see people smiling and dancing, quote unquote good, right? What is good dancing? It's all a matter of perspective. It wasn't about it being Dak, but when it registered that it was Dak, is when I said, okay, let me go laugh at a few of these haters who will surely find something negative to say about this man having a good time. And you know what? I'm glad that I did that because I had a moment where I got a much needed reminder that no matter how successful, kind, good looking, fun, loyal, smart, wealthy, giving, I could go on, right? No matter how great you are, some people are just never going to like you. And like I said, I know the hate on the Cowboys is all in good fun. I think it actually makes being a Cowboys fan more fun. But I was more taken by the fact that someone was there holding a cell phone and filming him dance. And they weren't holding a cell phone in private, like down here, secretly recording him. They were holding it up. They were holding their cell phone, filming him dance. And he knew what would/could happen with that video, and he danced anyway. And I thought about all the times when I've held back for fear of looking stupid, sounding stupid, being talked poorly about, losing friends, or even just not being able to make friends, trying to be liked by everyone. I thought about the times when I've tried to shrink myself to make others more comfortable around me, to hopefully win their friendship. Because making a female friends is hard out here, people, especially as you get older. But what if we instead, like Dak, just danced anyway? What if we just radiated all the joy inside of us and were only worried about attracting those who didn't think we shined too brightly for them? What if we didn't see their dislike for us as something for us to hold, but instead as something that filters out who is not meant to be in our life? It's doing us a favor. Or maybe as a way to let in people who will enrich our life, right? Because sometimes we can settle for so many of the wrong things and the wrong people that we can't see the right ones passing us by. So, what if you just dance like no one is watching? And I mean this metaphorically as well. I don't expect everyone to just go to the end of your driveway and start dancing, but it sounds like fun to me. A lot of us were doing that in 2020. I'm just saying. By dancing like no one is watching, I mean you just exude all the parts of you that make you you. You didn't hold back, you didn't shrink down, you just showed up as you everywhere you went, no matter the room or the people in it. What if you just did that and found all the joy you could want in that alone? What if that was enough? What if you stopped trying to be the version of you anyone else wants you to be and you were just you? Now, some of you may be thinking, I don't have a problem showing up as myself. I'm real all the time. I actually hear that a lot from many of you because I'm always in my stories talking about authenticity and how I pride myself of that on my social media. I share the good, the bad, the ups and downs, all the things, right? So maybe that's really true for you, and that's great. But if I'm being honest about myself, I've said that before too, but then also said yes when I wanted to say no. I've sat at the table when I wanted to be on the dance floor. I've not joined in the conversation at a family dinner or with friends because I didn't want to sound stupid. And I've sat quiet in the meeting when I didn't think anyone would like my idea, even though I thought it was a pretty good one. I mean, if I'm being honest, I've done all those things despite talking about being authentic on social media. Seeing Dak dancing and just immersing myself in the situation, right? I totally immersed myself. Like this little less than 10-second video, I took this to a whole nother level, right? I just totally immersed myself in that situation, imagining someone there with their cell phone out taking video and it not stopping him. And that just hit me for some reason, especially after I stopped to read the comments. I thought, man, if that was me, I don't know if I would have done that. I think I wouldn't have danced at all, or I would have stopped as soon as I saw someone recording. But he appeared so unbothered. His smile was so genuine. He appeared to be having so much fun. He appeared to be unfazed by what anyone else was thinking of him at that time. And with that realization, Cowboys fan or not, I admired that. I want to get to that level of comfortable. That even if I was famous, even if I was often hated on, I still danced like no one was watching. Cameras on. That's cool to me. That's something I want to strive for. That's admirable to me. Not the other things we measure success by, like how much money he makes, right? Or whatever title somebody has. But their willingness to just be themselves and exude so much joy, regardless of what's going on around them, what anyone might think around them, that that's wealthy to me. And life is too damn short to not strive for that. I wanted to bring that message here today because I thought it would be cool to inspire others to strive for that too. Because what's the point in living if you can't be yourself? What's the point in being successful if you're miserable because you never get to be who you really are? Your energy is your greatest source of power. The people meant to be in your life will match or level up your energy. So use that source of power to attract your people. Don't dim it to settle for the people meant to just pass through, because it's going to get crowded and cluttered around you. The right things won't be able to find you because there's plenty of things and people to get lost in, right? There's plenty of things in relationships to lose yourself in. Many of us have done that one time or another, right? Lost ourselves in a friendship or a romantic relationship. But when you find the ones that lift you up, when you find those things and those people that shine a bright light on your joy and everything that makes you you, you'll realize one thing that lifts you up is better than 100 things that water you down. You may have heard the quote, "Don't be afraid to lose people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please everyone around you." I've had a few different points in my life where I realized I had lost myself. And it's common among us people pleasers, right? It's easy to fall back into those habits. We tell ourselves it's easier to do whatever makes others happy. You may have even said some of these things I know I've said. As long as everyone else is happy, I'm happy. You may have said, I'm easy, it doesn't matter to me. I'm easy to please, right? Sometimes people pleasers hide behind these sorts of things. And it's easy to fall back into those thought patterns because it feels easier in the moment, doesn't it? But then you realize one day that you've totally lost yourself again. And if that's you today, you're not alone. It took a less than 10-second video of a famous quarterback dancing and a few comments from the haters to realize that I had some room to do better at speaking up and giving my opinion and letting no be enough and prioritizing what brings me joy. And I don't think we need to wait until we've reached Dak's level of fame in order to do that. We don't get permission to be ourselves when we are worthy of it now, just as we are today. There is no greater joy than the joy that comes from being around people and in spaces where you get to wave your weird flag. Don't you agree? Places where you get to be unapologetically you. Do what makes you happy. Give your opinions. Contribute to the conversation with your unique perspective. It doesn't mean everyone's going to think the exact same way you do or think that you're right all the time or think that you're the best dancer ever, but it means that you're valued regardless. Before the world got its hands on you and we started basing our actions on other people's reactions, we knew exactly who we were, right? And we showed up as that person without a second thought. As children, we did what we liked to do. We laughed more. Our bodies moved to the music when it played, regardless of who was watching. We used our voices, even if no one understood what we had to say. And it's time to get back to that, don't you think? All of the episodes I do here are about us being relentless in the pursuit of becoming our best selves. And in that, we have to embrace being imperfect and seeing the beauty in our uniqueness and know that we are worthy of acceptance exactly as we are. And I think this message was important for me to do today because in a social media world where we see so much perfection, so much editing and filtering, I hope you'll push back against that and fight relentlessly for authenticity. I hope this is a reminder to be you and own it. It's one I think that we all need once in a while because it's easy to get comfortable in complacency, right? So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope I dusted off that inner child in you. It's in all of us. Don't forget that you can now text me any takeaways from the show or just anything you want to share with me. Head to the show notes. Also, it means the world to me and the success of this show when you take the time to leave a rating and review and go share this episode on your social media. If you think someone else needs to hear this too, tag me so I can personally thank you. I'll leave you with this. The bravest thing you can ever be is yourself. Until next episode, friends. E.